Every morning is an opportunity to connect with Jesus. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow more, DDPC is for you. Join us as we connect with Jesus together.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Daily Devotions with Pastor Chris. I, of course, am your host, Pastor Chris. It was 84 episodes ago that we had our 1000th celebration, and so here we are at 1084. Good to be with you today. As I mentioned yesterday, we're going to be on a little bit of a journey, just looking into some of the content that has been put into the hands of our students as they were away on their fall retreat. And so I want to talk to you today from a devotional that was written by Pastor Jacqueline Madison. And so Pastor Jacqueline is our children's pastor at the church and does a fabulous job. And okay, well, let me tell you something. So listen, to my Instagram crew, I'm going to need to dip off for just a minute and open up on my personal Instagram. For some reason, it opened on that one. So I've got to switch over. So I'm gonna dip out. This is me dipping out, and I will be right back on Pastor. I think it's Pastor Chris 656 or Pastor Willis 656. All right. Sorry about that. Be right back. All right. Thank you guys for hanging on. Okay. No, don't share. No sharing. Just ending. Okay. Well, this is the joy of live, right? Especially when you come blowing in from the gym and you don't have any time left. So, all right, here we go. We're going to get these Instagrammers right on here in just a moment. And now we're live. Okay, so welcome. If you are joining us from Instagram, I apologize. I accidentally opened up on my church account, and I do like nothing on social media except this. So I don't I don't even know how it switches over, but so I don't know if you guys also know this or not, but DDPC has an entire administrative staff named Jeanette, and so she notified me that I was on the wrong channel. So anyway, here we go. Rough start, but we are back. We got our rhythm and we are rocking and rolling. So like I said before, I'm sharing with you a devotion from Pastor Jacqueline Madison today. All of the theme for these devotionals is shift or shifting. And the title of hers is Shifting from Attendees to Ambassadors. Shifting from Attendees to Ambassadors. And I think it's a great title because we talk a lot of time about not being a consumer in the church, but being a worshiper in the church, being somebody who gives instead of somebody who takes. So anyway, so she says, do you have any idea how much power you have? Every single day, you have the opportunity to point every person you come in contact with to Jesus. Whether you attend a public school, private school, even if you're homeschooled, and of course she's talking to students, but this translates to us as well. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a full-time employee, part-time employee, whether you are a business owner, whether you're currently unemployed, wherever you are, whatever you're doing at this moment in this day, you're going to interface with people, and you have an opportunity to tell people about Jesus. And you can reflect the love and the characteristics of Jesus to those that you interact with. And a lot of times people think that, well, because I'm young, or because I'm inexperienced, or because I'm new to the church thing, or we make all kinds of excuses as to why we can't reflect the love of Christ, or can't have the characteristics of Christ, or be an impact for the kingdom. But that's simply not true. Especially to the students. In 1 Timothy 4:12, it states that nobody should despise you for your youth, but be an example. And I think when when you talk about youth, I mean, certainly Paul was talking to Timothy here, who was young and who was going to fill like Paul the apostle's shoes. So this was a big deal. And he certainly was trying to encourage his younger protege. Um, I often think of Ronald Reagan's debate in the presidential election when they were trying to uh, point out how much older he was, and he said, and he said the question was, it's been it's, your opponent has stated that you're really too old, or that your age is going to be an issue. Um, in this election, and he paused for a moment and he said something to the effect of, "I will not degrade my opponent by making his age an issue, his lack of experience an issue, or something of that nature." But in any case, it was a turning point in the entire election. And so Paul is certainly talking to a younger Timothy here, but this could also, I believe, translate to our youth in our faith. Can I just tell you, you can go to church for a very, very, very long time and still be wildly immature in your faith. You can go to church for a long time, you can know a lot about the Bible and still not really be discipled. And really, that's, I think, the major problem in the American church today, is that people have just become attendees of a church. They just go, but they're not really a part of it. And they're not an ambassador, right? And so Jacqueline writes this. She says, even as students, you can impact your environment for Jesus. Let's be real. You have the potential to turn people away from Jesus too. Maybe you claim to be a Christian, but your mouth and your language, whether it's I would argue, whether it's cursing or whether it's just constant negativity, or whether all that's on your mouth is just the problems that are in front of you. And I get it. I mean, problems do sit in front of us and they take up our mental space. And it's not that you can't talk about them, but when that becomes all that you talk about, it begins to shape you as a person, right? And so then she says, well, maybe you attend the Bible club, or but put minimal effort into your assignments or act disinterested in class. Maybe you beg to go on to youth group, but have a hard time showing your parents respect or obeying them for the first time. And so, see, that's what I mean, is a lot of times we go to church, we look the part, we know the right words to say, we've got a bag of scriptures that we can kind of lean on, and by all impressions we present as a Christian, but are we actually ambassadors of Christ, or are we just attending and kind of going with the flow? And she states, she says, if you claim to know Jesus but act like those who don't know him, why would anyone want to be a follower of Jesus? And that's a hard ask. She says, we all make mistakes, and that's okay, and that's true. We all do. And sometimes our flesh creeps in, and sometimes we lose it, and sometimes we don't present well, right? But we must try to do better than those that are in the world, even if we ever want to win their hearts for the Lord. And man, like that's the man, like the people, when people get hurt, it should not be by Christians. When people get hurt, it should not be by the church, and so we're not talking about perfection. Perfection is concerned only with the outcome. And I think that's a really good statement that Jacqueline makes there. Perfection is only concentrating on the outcome. God doesn't want perfection; He wants excellence. What an amazing insight. Unlike perfection, excellence focuses on the process. So you don't have to be, you don't have to be the straight A AP student or to honor God. The point, and be able to point people to God. But you do need to conduct yourself with excellence. In other words, you do your very best every day, even when it's hard. Treat your coworkers, treat your family, treat people with respect. Even and swallow, goodness gracious, swallow pride, and don't allow things to fester, right? And even when they don't deserve it, right? Respect and then conduct yourself with dignity, even when everyone else is acting a fool. Just be dignified. And this is hard because it takes a lot of prayer. It really does, because our flesh says they are idiots, right? And it takes practice, right? And so nobody's excellent at this. We all fail. We all make mistakes. We all goof up. So we pray. We pray for God's help so that we can represent Him very well each and every day before your feet ever even hit the floor. And so, like for students, it's like that's the truth, man. Like going into the school systems every day and just praying that, man, I don't have to be perfect, but I do need to be excellent. I need to be working the process every minute of every day. I need to run through the filter of, I'm an ambassador for Christ. I represent Jesus, and I'm not just somebody who goes to church. In Galatians chapter 6 verse 9, he reminds us, he says, and let us not grow weary while we're doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Do you hear what he said? He said, in due season we will reap if we do not lose heart. Now there's a promise. If we don't get tired of doing what's right, we'll receive a blessing for being a good representative of Jesus. And that's great news. And it's helpful to all of us to feel like our efforts are, because a lot of times it feels like what we're doing is going unnoticed. But you are part of a very powerful moment in history right now. And especially our younger generation, like people are watching them. They've gotten a bad rap, man. The Gen Zs, especially, like they've gotten a bad rap. And, obviously some of their culture is waning, right? But people are watching them and they're blown away when they see outstanding students, right? And so as Christians, we should be the ones that are capturing and captivating the attention of those that are watching and not stop. So be part of the move to continually point people to the Lord. The clatter from those who are participating in these things that grieve the heart of God is loud, but they do not have the power over you. And man, that's what thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing that. The clatter of this world is loud. The onslaught of negativity and doom and gloom, and it's especially in an election year, it's dark, right? But that doesn't have power over you. Now, so how does it look for you to live out Romans 12:2? It says this: do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So before you go into your day, pause and ask the Lord how He wants you to live out every day. He loves you and He goes before you, and He will give you strength to represent Him well wherever you go. So understand that it's not even a suggestion, it's a mandate. This is our calling. And so it's up to us to be excellent in our journey. Don't just be a church attender, be an ambassador of the church of Jesus Christ. Be Jesus with skin on, as Jeannie Mayo famously says. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I hope that's a blessing to you. Give you some quick shout outs here. Good to see Kate Williams and Krista McAfee and Polly Lavish. Good to see Jeanette Lynn Willis and Mark G and Rodriguez Family One. Good to have Janetta on, and Andrew Lavish and Samantha Endress and Elizabeth Orlando. And good to have Diane Riley and Lisa Ross. God bless you guys. Good to see all of you. Tamara, nice to have you on. K. Archie is with us this morning. God bless you. Good to see Athena Detlefs on as well. all on Instagram this morning. Kim Sikelski also in the house. Good to have you guys. Renee Galuza, Tara Rose, Tom and Colette Jagoda, Lauren Green, Rocco Baldino, Jimmy and Jamie Gore, and their new baby Mason. God bless you guys. Good to see Eileen Rodriguez on today. Michael Ray Willis, Carlene Kopchek, Michael V. Good to have you. Deb Click, Scott Dobler. Good to see you. Rich and Carly Papsco. Nice to have you guys on. Laura Turiano. Nice to have you on, Laura. Good to see Melissa Morse and Narda this morning, and Ann and Mike McFadden. God bless all of you guys. Yvonne and Denise LeBlanc on today. Purged Voter is back. Good to see you again on our stream. Good to have Carrie Ann McAndrew with us this morning. Daniel Lozovikas also with us. Mike B has joined us. Tina Poe, God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Len Pace in the house. God bless you, Len. Dear long-lasting friend. Good to see you. Let's see. I think that's Alina and Mike Patton on today. God bless you guys. Guys, that's what I got. I got to run. Got lots and lots and lots to do. Big day today. Full day today. Say a little prayer for me that I get it all done. All right. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of DDPC. And guess what? I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.